to 2 years imprisonment, 10,000 francs to 200,000 francs. In the presence of a minor, it is double.
Society's moral is questioned here. Much more those who post their stinky beat tango online. In between morality and law, there is a fine thread of social responsibility.
Today's children and teens are growing up immersed in the world of digital media. Their access to social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and the likes exposes them to all kinds of content if not controlled. How should kids be controlled when using social media? CRTV's Rainatu Sali spoke to some parents and ICT experts who share their views in the following report.
The rule is clear for these 9 and 14-year-old. At the young base, no smartphones, no social media until they get to the university.
We have a principle in our home that it's only from university that you have an Android phone. We have a normal phone that we just keep in the house for the children that is from high school right down to the primary school. They have access to the phone that they can call in case of emergency.
In this other home, there are no restrictions, just sensitization on the responsible use of social media platforms. Children and teens get exposed to all kinds of content online, and so limiting screen time becomes imperative.
I have a daughter which she's in the university, first year in university. We gave her the Anglophone when she was going for the first semester. And when she came back from time to time, I used to pick her phone and go through the phone to see the type of things that he's doing in the phone.
Government has also developed a national charter on the protection of children online. Following prescriptions from the blueprint, the Ministry of Post and Telecommunications is to collaborate with the Ministries of Education, Women's Empowerment and the Social Affairs Ministry to develop teaching aids for smart social media kits.
And in other news, there will be no increase in the price of beef. This was the conclusion arrived at after a meeting between trade unionists of cattle vendors and butchers on the one hand and officials of the Ministry of Trade on the other hand. Both parties equally discussed enforcing measures to fight speculations, as you tell us, Clarice Aritakang.
For some weeks now, consumers have been complaining about the price of a kilogram of meat, which they say has witnessed an increase in some markets. It is to affirm the contrary that members of the National Trade Union of Cattle Vendors and those of the Butchers Trade Union of Cameroon held talks with officials of the Ministry of Trade. Focus of their discussions was on the price of beef, about which assurances were given that the cost of a kilogram of the produce remains unchanged.
The government is fully involved. We are a partner and an active partner, and they know that our door is permanently open to them to assist them and also, when possible, to advise.
The partnership entered into by parties concerned paves the way for the regular supply of cattle on the different markets, but equally that there be as few intermediaries as possible between butchers and beef vendors. Amongst other issues raised were those dealing with the need to find a common approach to fight any form of speculation regarding beef. Availability and affordability must be guaranteed at all times, it was agreed.
And on to this headline story, a Cameroonian battalion undergoing training for integration into the United Nations Multidimensional Integration Stabilization Mission in the Central African Republic, MINUSCA, is being evaluated by a team of experts from the United States of America, New York. The 4-day pre-redeployment visit at the Mochebom Instruction Center in the Upper Nyong Division of the East Region is testing the soldiers' individual and group competences in crucial peacekeeping skills such as crowd control and fight and rescue operations. CRTV's Drusilla Mokoso-Joki is on special assignment to Mochebom. Her report.
A simulation exercise of an operation in crowd control and public disturbance. Another exercise simulating an attack by militiamen, warranting heated fire exchanges and the rescue of wounded soldiers. These are some of the peacekeeping actions carried out by soldiers of Cameroon's soon-to-be integrated MINUSCA battalion at the Mochebom Instruction Center, where their skills are perfected for field work. For the UN experts of the Military Performance and Evaluation Task Force from New York, individual and group competences of Cameroon's training is laudable. Conduct and discipline too are being evaluated, for Cameroon must produce and export ethically correct and tactically apt soldiers.
Some French soldiers who have come to the end of their military cooperation in Cameroon have been decorated with medals of the Knight of the Cameroon Order of Merit, exceptionally granted them by the head of state. The medal award, presided at by the minister delegate at the presidency in charge of defense, Joseph Betia Somo, who lauded the fruitful services of the three military officers towards reinforcing Franco-Cameroonian ties. Noya Ben Modika has more.
After serving in different capacities with the Cameroonian military during the last 4 years, the head of state immortalizes their stay with medals of the Knight of the Cameroon Order of Merit.
I learned a lot of things with my partners, and it was really a great job, General Bitote, and a very important experience.
It's an honor and a pleasure to wear this decoration, because it represents the engagement near the EI forces, which is very important.
Minister Joseph Betia Somo, who have fixed their medals, praised them for pushing ahead the ties between both countries and for reinforcing collaboration in the military domain, especially in training and equipment at AE Force and the Army Rescue.
Some 45 police staff from the Directorate of the Judicial Police and from the 10 regional delegations of police and some 24 central police have been trained on economic and financial investigation, organized by the Cameroonian Police Force with technical support from the German International Cooperation GIZ. The training will enable the police to be more professional on how to investigate crime in strict respect of the law. Beatrice Ngom reports that the trainees received their end-of-course attestations during this Friday's event in the presence of the resident representative of GIZ in Cameroon.
It has taken them 3 weeks to acquire new knowledge, and now they are challenged to stamp out crime in society without professional lapses and in strict respect of the law. Their skills were upgraded in the fight against fraud in the public contract sector, on how to exploit digital evidence in economic and financial investigation, on techniques and procedures to fight money laundering and financing terrorism.
Criminals have taken new strategies to commit crimes, and police will not stay behind without using the modern technology to fight against those crimes.
We have gained tactics, strategies, techniques on how to deal with digital investigation, forensic investigation, and how to collect digital proof.
A Germano-Cameroon collaboration celebrated by the representative of the Delegate General for National Security, Police Commissioner Jean-Marie Vogo, as he handed end-of-training attestations to the 45 police interns. The training is part of a partnership between the German government and the government of Cameroon within the program to build the capacities of the Cameroonian police to implement its reforms.
8 newly promoted officials of the International School for Security Force, AE Force, have been installed into their functions by the Director General of the institution, Brigadier General André Patrice Bitote. The officials appointed by presidential decree have been reminded of their role in enhancing the institution as a reference in peacekeeping operations on the continent. Elvis Teke has more.
A festive atmosphere at the International School for Security Forces in the Gusu neighborhood in Yaoundé, as 2 directors appointed by presidential decree and 6 service heads nominated by presidential order are commissioned into their functions. The Director General of the institution, Brigadier General André Patrice Bitote, described the appointees as seasoned professionals from the police and the National Gendarmerie who master the task ahead.
I do all my best to do all I will be asked from my hierarchy.
The Center of Research and Documentation is in charge of research in the domain of internal security and in the international area.
Appointment of June 23, 2021 seek to give a fresh impetus to the International School for Security Forces, which is an excellent center of the Central African Economic Community and the African Union in the training of security services, particularly the police and the gendarmerie, in peace support operations in their respective countries and on the international scene.
Over the littoral region, some youths in Douala have benefited from another phase of the National Youth Integration Fund by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education. The beneficiaries received equipment in various domains, including innovation, agriculture and fishing, during a dual ceremony that also saw the inauguration of a training restaurant. Roslyn Fossa reports from Crtv Littoral in Douala.
These are the lives of about 229 youths that are in a transformation process thanks to the National Youth Integration Fund. Beneficiaries of the 2020 batch have received another consignment of material to assist them in the project funded by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education. The funds evaluated at least 1 million per project cuts across different sectors of investment.
The innovation this year is fishing, and the engines they have received today is just part of the equipment that have been given to them. There is also fish farming, and they have received a complete kit which goes above 1 million. There are also projects in renewable energy and distribution of hot drinks, and the youths involved have received tricycle for the purpose.
For the youths, this other phase of the project that comes after securing a site for some and providing first equipment for others takes their activities to another level. The donation ceremony in Douala was also an occasion to inaugurate the training restaurant set up at the Multipurpose Youth Empowerment Center of Douala 3, spearheaded by another beneficiary of the National Youth Integration Fund. Through this restaurant, the center also seeks to train other youths interested in cookery and baking.
The legal document of establishing partnership agreement between Cameroon and the United Kingdom has been exchanged. The note verbal was done today in Yaoundé for the British government by its High Commissioner to Cameroon, Christian Denis Maclaw, and for Cameroon by the Minister Delegate to the Minister of External Relations in charge of Commonwealth, Felix Mbayu. Charles Ebune reports.
Trade flow between Cameroon and the United Kingdom stands at about 180 billion CFA francs, and the new economic partnership agreement between both countries will widen the commercial flow.
Today, the Minister and I have just exchanged the final note verbal to conclude the inaction of the economic partnership agreement, which was signed in March between Cameroon and the United Kingdom.
The signing of the note verbal to legally establish the new economic partnership agreement between Cameroon and the United Kingdom, already approved by the Cameroonian Parliament and signed into law by the President of the Republic, will shape the future of the business transaction between Yaoundé and London.
We hope that it will lead to a broadening of our economic relationship in the future to the benefit of all our citizens.
To pen the document on behalf of Cameroon today at the audience hall of the Ministry of External Relations was the Minister Delegate to the Minister of External Relations in charge of relations with the Commonwealth, Felix Mbayu, and on behalf of the British government was its High Commissioner to Cameroon, Christian Denis Maclaw.
The president of the Cameroon chapter of the Union of Francophone Press has paid a courtesy visit to the Minister of Communication, René-Emmanuel Sadi. Evelyn Owonai-Somba presented her new bureau and some of her projects for the next 3 years to the minister. Rainatu Sali completes the story.
A courtesy visit paid to the Minister of Communication by the president of the Cameroon chapter of the Union of Francophone Press. Evelyn Owonai-Somba came to present her new bureau to Minister René-Emmanuel Sadi.
Since our election in June, it was normal, like to come back home to see our father, to tell him how things went on. We are very glad that he took his time, to receive my new bureau and I.
The president of UPF Cameroon and her team went ahead to share with the minister some of the challenges that await them and their roadmap to overcoming them.
We have many challenges to overcome. One of them is the training how to provide to our members and to all media practitioners trainings, how to finance them. So we discussed about all of that, and he instructed us to, continue to work in the sense of building a strong press.
The team also presented their projects for the next 3 years and thanked the minister for his continuous support.
Senators of the Central Region have a new head office where they can meet to share ideas with elected officials of the regional and local authorities. The group of senators of the Central Region, led by Sylvestre Ondwa, visited the building yesterday at the Bastos neighborhood here in Yaoundé. Charles Anangwe was there and now reports.
This is the head office for senators of the Central Region, situated at the Bastos neighborhood in Yaoundé. It is here that they will be meeting regularly, especially during their recess periods, to share ideas with officials of decentralized territorial collectivities that they represent.
We need to inform our people that now we just have this new place, this new headquarters, and for them to know that we are there. If they need us, if they want to see us, they will know that it's the new place we have.
The building is well equipped with all that it takes for senators to work in a calm and serene atmosphere. Following the acquisition of the new building, they are now prepared to go to the field.
When they finish a session, we have to go to our population to explain what happened and see our population.
The initiative taken by senators of the Central Region to have a structure of this magnitude is something worth emulating by senators of other regions.
Women's participation in politics and their role in the protection of human rights and the consolidation of peace have been deliberated on at the National Assembly at a plenary chaired by Deputy Speaker Honorable Theophile Barrow. The Parliamentary Network on Gender Promotion and UN Women decried discriminatory laws which hamper women's emancipation. Esther Kmer has the details.
Achieving the Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which centers on gender equality and empowerment of women and girls, is not limited to stepping up female representation in decision-making spheres. The quality and caliber of women is of prime importance.
Very often, people are insisting on the quantity of representatives. We have also to insist on the quality of this representation. That is the reason why it's important for us to reinforce the capacity.
In Cameroon, a considerable progression of 34% is recorded in parliament, but with barely 10% at the local level. There is need for accents.
We have competencies, we have the abilities, and we can break the norms, the societal ones, and we have to motivate.
With bias, customs more and more suppressed, and violence checked, women can change the rules.
It's now, not tomorrow. Get up, stand up for your rights.
To realize Planet 50-50, empowerment, participation, and inclusion are key.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
The population of the BMAC Health District has been exhorted to make use of last mass vaccination days against COVID-19 and have themselves vaccinated. The call came after some personnel of the health district have been reluctant to get the jab through 3 days into the massive vaccination campaign. Baldwin Sama and his guest, Ako Jane, are at the Public Health Emergency Center to tell us how the exercise is unfolding at the BMAC District Hospital. Hi, Baldwin.
Good evening to you, Gladys. That there are 3 days into this mass vaccination against the coronavirus. The turnout some say it's impressive so far at the BMRC Health District. With our guest tonight, Ako Jane of the BMRC Health District. We are going to look at how it has been like ever since we had this mass vaccination campaign launched on Wednesday at the BMRC District Hospital, the BMRC Health District. Good evening to you, Ako Jane.
Good evening, Badri.
Explain to us how has this mass vaccination against COVID-19 been like so far ever since it was launched on Wednesday at the level of the BMRC Health District?
Well, as regards the vaccination campaign, it's quite promising as compared to the formal campaign, whereby we vaccinated few persons a day. But since yesterday, we're able to vaccinate about 60. So today we are to 200 persons vaccinated.
And is the population not having, do you face some difficulties trying as much as possible to convince the population, those of the BMRC Health Districts?
Well, we still have a lot of difficulties because some people are not yet convinced concerning the vaccine. So what we try to do these days, we try to sensitize. So we still have some days from now to Sunday before the end of the campaign. They should get vaccinated as soon as possible because the vaccines are limited. So they may wish to get vaccinated, whereas we will not have any vaccine available again for them.
Thank you so much, Ako Jane, for the BMRC Health District. The message is clear. We have a few days left. Get yourself vaccinated against the coronavirus, especially those of you in the BMRC Health Districts here in Yaoundé. Back to you, Gladys Tata.
Thank you very much, Baldwin Sama, and see you tomorrow. In other news now, Cameroonian artist Dynastilo Tigre has released a new single titled Mbole Konkas and will be officially dedicating it tonight in a double ceremony in Douala. In the following report, Victor Siga presents major cultural events that are scheduled for this weekend.
Dynastilo Tigre will be live tonight at Belavirai Bonaberi, Douala, for the celebration of 237 Celebrity Nights, a blend of music and comedy to spice your weekend. He will be also dedicating his new single, Mbole Konkas. Sansa nightclub is reopening its doors tonight after a period of perturbed activities. Marvel yourself with classic music as from 10 p.m. It's Malaya is giving you rendezvous at Omulatako in Dedo, Douala tonight as from 8 p.m. for a wonderful live show. That's not all.
Salut, moi c'est l'artiste John Duchamp. Je vous donne rendez-vous ce samedi 10 au complexe culturel Bébéto, 6 au échangeur Van.
Le soleil s'élève sur la terre de nos ancêtres.
Have a fun-filled weekend.
And on to this advertorial, the Attijari Wafa Bank Group, through its subsidiary, Société Commerciale de Banque Cameroun, SCB, through its African Development Club, has organized a multi-sectoral mission which has explored investment opportunities and sealed win-win partnership with Cameroonians in different domains of activity. Sally Ebenenyoki reports that the presence of the Minister of Trade, Magloire Mbarga Tangana, is in recognition that government needs investors to contribute in the realization of its strategic structural plan for 2020-2030.
SCB Cameroon, the subsidiary of the Moroccan Attijari Wafa Bank Group, considers bringing a high delegation of investors alongside Egyptian government officials on the same table with their Cameroonian counterparts as a great achievement. It was a multi-sectoral mission and their domains of activity are attractive and beneficial for Cameroon.
We have people from pharmaceuticals, we have people coming to, work with the infrastructure. We know that you have your plan to develop them. We want to, lend your hand, our expertise, and work with you in tandem, of course, to bring prosperity to our people.
The Egyptian officials see the partnerships sealed with Cameroonian businessmen as beneficial for both countries.
Cameroon imports a lot of things and we have a lot of things that we export as well, so this could be a win-win situation.
Fcfa Cameroon has promised financial support to investors.
We are a Pan-African bank. We are present in Egypt. We are present in Cameroon. So it's quite logical to be ready helping Egyptian people to invest here in this country, and the opposite. Big company will get big credit and small companies will get small credit. So it depends on what you want to do.
It is a great opportunity for Cameroon, which is on its structural transformation process.
We have the resources, we have, we have the population. So the future, I think, I am convinced that the future is for Africa.
The officials held high-level discussions on investment possibilities in both countries. The Ati Jariwafa Bank Group's Africa Development Club is at the service of financial operators investing in Africa.
And in sports, this weekend is packed with football and volleyball across the nation. Days 11 and 13 games of the Elite One are programmed for Saturday and Sunday. Group A leaders of AS Fortuna challenger defending champions PW of Bamenda tomorrow at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium. There are also finals of men's and women's volleyball this Sunday. Details with Ekonde Daniel in this newscast.
10 fixtures counting for day 11 and day 13 of the Elite One will be disputed this weekend. Group A leaders AS Fortuna will challenge league holders PWD Bamenda on Saturday at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium. The game is scheduled for 3:30 p.m. and is previewed to be broadcast on CLTV Sport and Entertainment. Before that, Dragon will face off Avion Academy at 1:30 p.m. Cotton Sport will play Young Sport Academy at 4 p.m. in Bamenda. On Sunday, the Bafoussam Oni Sports Stadium will have two games, Njiko FC vs Stade Rena at 2 p.m., then Fufu Club vs Union at 4 p.m. This Sunday, the Guinness Super League takes another step towards the end of the season. Awa FC will be looking to move to the top of the table when they play Canon Women at 3 p.m. The match, which will be shown on CLTV Sports and Entertainment, is one of the 5 GSL games this weekend. The winners of the Volleyball Championship will also be known this weekend at the National Advanced School of Public Works. This Saturday, FAB compete against Bafia Volleyball Evolution in the women's category. Then Port Autonome Douala will play FAB in the men's final.
Before we take leave of you, this release of the National Moon Crescent Commission, CNCL, informs the Muslims of Cameroon that the moon to mark the end of the month of Zulqa'dah has not been seen anywhere on the national territory this Friday, July 9th. Therefore, the said month will be completed to 30 days. Thus, the day of Arafat will be inshallah on July 19 and the Feast of Sacrifice will be celebrated on Tuesday, July 20. The National Moon Crescent Commission invites Muslims to intensify prayers for peace, national unity and health in our country. And it has been signed, Professor Suleiman. You'll be in the company of Atabadine Umar at 8:30 for the news in French. I'll be back same time tomorrow. Until then, thanks for being there. Take the rendezvous tomorrow. Good night.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
CRTV News, ici, toute l'info.
Salut, je m'appelle Takam, je suis l'enfant de ma Monique, mais là, je suis sérieux.
Le coronavirus est réel. Ce n'est pas une blague.
Ce n'est pas une invention.
Ce n'est pas non plus une maladie qui ne tue pas les Noirs.
Ça tue aussi les Camerounais.
Ça tue les gros, ça tue les petits, ça tue les gras. Donc soyons responsables. Soyons responsables.
Protégeons-nous. Protégeons-nous.
Et protégeons ceux qui nous sont chers.
Restons chez nous et ne sortons qu'en cas de nécessité.
Comme celle de vouloir faire la vidéo aussi.
Respectons les consignes de santé.
Tu as compris, non, la légende?
Lavons-nous les mains avec de l'eau coulante et du savon.
Yeah! On va prendre l'eau où? On coupe l'eau chez nous chaque temps.
Si vous n'avez pas de robinet, bien vouloir utiliser 2 récipients, dont l'un pour recueillir de l'eau usée.
L'eau usée qu'il faut aller verser. Verser.
Si vous voulez éternuer, bien vouloir le faire dans un mouchoir que vous prendrez la peine de jeter dans une poubelle.
Ou dans le creux de votre cou.